Hi, I'm Molly.
And I'm Jamie, and this is our From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast. As the owners of Hired Hand website software, we've been developing websites and creating internet marketing strategies for livestock breeders for the past 10 years.
The majority of our customers are involved in the breeding of registered animals, such as Texas Longhorns, Highland cattle, horses, and whitetail deer, where the pedigrees are very important. The From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast examines many of the differences in raising pedigreed livestock for maximum profit. Join us and learn what we're covering today.
On today's podcast, we're recapping last weekend's Hudson Valentine Fort Worth Stockyards auction that occurred May 24th and 25th in the historic Fort Worth Stockyards.
So this last weekend, there was 84 lots that sold. There were 33 from the heifer sale and 61 from the cow sale. The unofficial total was $1,271,500, while the unofficial average was $15,136. The internet-only average was $5,815.
Individually, the heifer sale's unofficial total was $453,000, while the unofficial average was $13,727.
The cow sale's unofficial total was $818,500, while the unofficial average was $16,049. The internet-only average was $6,175.
With this being the 10th sale of the year to be included in our Hired Hand Live Trends and Averages series, it takes the 2024 annual average to date to $6,475.04, while the internet-only average to date is $4,382.27.
There were just under 28,000 total views of consignments online, with 8,100 views on the heifer sale and just under 20,000 views for the cow sale, with 129 registered internet bidders.
The most viewed lot before the sale became the second most viewed lot after the sale. This was lot 16, HL American Proud, consigned by M7 Longhorns, and she had 845 views before the sale and 1,059 views after. And Jamie, I know this isn't something we keep track of, but I feel like almost every podcast we've done, one of the most viewed animals has been from M7 Longhorns. They just do such a great job of marketing. I love seeing their name time and time again.
Yeah, I think it's always a toss-up. M7 Longhorns and then also DC Cattle. DCT Cattle, they also do a really good job of marketing their cows.
Maybe we'll have to tally it up and they can have a race the rest of the year for who gets mentioned the most moving forward.
Right, we should. Well, speaking of DCT Cattle, the second most viewed lot before the sale became the top viewed lot after the sale. This was lot 32, Saddle Jewel, who was consigned by DCT Cattle. She had 777 views before the sale and ended with 1,131 views after the sale.
Again, I love it when the views are in the thousands. That's always awesome. Should we get into some of the top 5 sellers and buyers for both online and in person?
I think so. Let's go.
All right, let's do the heifer sale first. So first we'll be recapping the top 5 sellers and in-person buyers. So the 5th highest selling heifer lot overall in person was lot H25, RJF Fallen in Love 202, consigned by Bentwood Ranch, and she sold for $21,000 to Norse Ridge Ranch.
Coming in at number 4, highest seller lot overall was lot H11 Patsy Cline, consigned by New Age Cattle Company. She sold for $26,000 to M7 Longhorns.
The 3rd highest selling heifer in person was lot H4 BCR Roses 247, consigned by Bull Creek Longhorns, and she sold for $30,000 to the Whitlock Vanderford Partnership.
The 2nd highest selling lot overall for the heifer sale was lot H1 Helm Allegra 291, consigned by Helm Cattle Company, who sold for $42,000.
And topping out the heifer sale was lot H30 HL Cherished, consigned by Hudson Longhorns, selling for $120,000 to Bentwood Ranch. Now let's go over the top 5 sellers and in-person buyers for the cow sale. Do you want to take number 5, Jamie?
Yep. The 5th highest selling lot overall in person was lot 20, Helm Adelia 812, consigned by Helm Cattle Company, who sold for $41,000 to Ray Webb.
The fourth highest selling cow to an in-person buyer was lot number 15, Texana All Square, consigned by Bentwood Ranch, selling for $42,000 to Rex and Sharice Glendenning.
The third highest selling lot overall for the cow sale was lot 18, Brazos Iva 738, consigned by Brazos Rose Ranch, and she sold for $43,000 to DCT Cattle.
The second highest selling cow lot was lot number 25, Ice Jam, consigned by Diamond B Longhorns, and she sold for $46,000 to Rex and Sharice Glendenning.
And the number one highest selling lot overall for the cow sale was lot 32, Saddle Jewel, who was consigned by DCT Cattle, and she sold for $120,000 to the Philip Chris Clark Gibbons Landys Whitlock Partnership.
Now we'll be going over the top 5 sellers and online buyers for the cow sale. Starting with the fifth highest was lot number 22, Hoosier Hometown Girl, consigned by Home Branch Ranch, and she sold for $5,250 to Steve Sanders via Hired Hand Live.
The fourth highest selling lot online was lot 49, a sublot, which was also an embryo consigned by Sunhaven Farms, who sold for $6,750 to Sam Byler.
The third highest selling cow to an online buyer was lot number 51, Pepper Spray 008, consigned by Bryant Cattle Company, selling for $10,000 to Kevin Pollard.
The second highest selling lot online was lot 2, HR Charcoal Dust Embryo, consigned by Dreamwood Farms, and she sold for $12,500 to Chris Clark.
And rounding out the top 5 for cows that sold to Hired Hand Live buyers was lot number 44, Texana Tempest, consigned by Harrow Longhorns, selling for $14,000 to Kale Hire. So we'd like to thank everyone that tuned in and bid and bought on Hired Hand Live.
So now let's talk about the internet influence stats. There was $666,600 value added through the internet bidding, with 393 online bids and 12 lots sold online.
There were also 9 different online buyers. Now let's review the attendee comments that we received back from our text messages. The first one reads, "Thanks again for an awesome sale. We look forward to this sale every year and it never disappoints."
Another review that we got says, "This is a class act. Love this sale every year."
Another review says, "I watched on Hired Hand Live and thought the sale was a success. I thought Chase and Dan did an amazing job, and what great prices they got consigners and for the sale hosts."
Another review we got said, "Great event, wonderful hospitality, and amazing cattle. Top-notch sale."
So thank you to everyone who texted back their feedback and comments. The next sale that we'll be covering on our recap is the Appalachian Trail sale on June 1st in Lebanon, Pennsylvania.